The Blood Moon event in DBD this year is what I would personally call, well, underwhelming. But you probably already heard that in the 10,000 other videos on YouTube talking about it, and how it's had no killer content, it's boring, and the fact that the only person who is currently working on a generator when it's popped gets the bad points for it. Hello everyone, my name is Andrew Kins, and I have some of the hottest takes and crazy ideas when it comes to Dead by Daylight. But I'm here today to talk about the Blood Moon event, and offer my ideas on how the event could be improved to be more engaging for both sides, and offer fun for everyone. Let's begin. Start things off, I want to talk about last year's Blood Moon event, and the reason I'm bringing it up is that it offered one thing that this year's event doesn't: engagement on both sides. By using these blood circles, survivors and killers would be rewarded quote-unquote unique effects. While the survivors were standing in these circles, they would get an iron wheel effect, making the grats of pain quieter, and the killer would earn a coup de grace effect, offering them with a longer lunch. Saying that this event was killer-sided wouldn't be an understatement, but it definitely favored killers a lot more than survivors. So this year around, Behavior tried to fix the issue that the event was killer-sided by offering survivors all the content with the bludgeons, the blood pumps, and the cans. Killers sadly got no content in the event, which someone could argue is fair since we got a brand new killer, the Ghoul, a week prior. But still, there's no reason for killers right now to play the event and not normal game mode, saying it has nothing to offer them. Survivors, however, got lots of content this event. Is it the most fun and engaging content though? Yes and no. Since I personally love the alternative way of doing the bludgeons, but the execution of it wasn't the greatest. If you think about it, the way you repair the bludgeons is by holding a W to blood pump, hold M1, hold W again towards the bludgeon, then hold M1 again, then repeat. Not the most fun gameplay, but it's something, I guess. So as I said, I'm a fan of the bludgeons mechanic, but I feel like they are a bit too quick to complete, and as of right now, the only reason to choose to go for these gens is either because you have to, since you have to repair at least 2 of them during a match, or it's because they usually take less time than normal gens depending how close a bludgeon is to blood pump. To improve the bludgeons to feel more worth it going through all the process to get them done, I believe the best way would be for the bludgeons to reward survivors something. The gens should take more blood to complete, but taking inspiration from last year's Blood Moon event, when a blood gen is completed, a blood circle of 10 meters is created around them. When survivors are in that circle, they get the following effects: 2% haste, no scratch marks, and the aura can be read by the killer. The effect lingers for 4 seconds when leaving the blood circle. Honestly, the effects can be something different if the ones I mentioned feel underwhelming or too much. I was trying to make them feel like the whole process to getting them feels worth it. It's essentially Boon Shadow Step and Boon Dark Theory combined in one, but with a reduced range. This way, at least, when going through all that process of getting the blood and putting it into these gens, you have the feeling that you're doing all of this to be rewarded something, getting that extra effect that will reward you later on, instead of getting nothing in return and just leaving a match slightly quicker. I also believe normal gen should be fully removed from the mod, and fully commit to the idea of the blood gens. Feels like Behavior didn't want to take the risk of having only this new type of gens in the game, so they left some normal gens to play it more safe. If it was balanced properly, making sure that blood pumps don't spawn directly next to gens, the blood gens taking a little longer to complete and tested a bit more, they could have fully committed in the blood gen idea and scrapped normal gens from the event that shouldn't be here in the first place. Now for the blood pumps. It would be much more fun if you had to complete a puzzle to be able to get the blood from the pumps instead of holding M1 just to fill it up. I don't know if any of you have played this game or are familiar with it, but in Bioshock there's the hacking mechanic where you have to complete this pipe puzzle with this liquid that has to go from one part to the other by switching spots with these pipes. Imagine if when going onto the blood pipes you were met with this puzzle, a simple version of it of course, and if completed successfully you would be rewarded with a blood can. If failed, then killers would receive a loud noise notification letting them know that a survivor tried to hack the blood pump. Wouldn't it be way more fun if you had to complete an actual puzzle to get the blood can instead of just pressing M1? Yes, it definitely would be, but what do I know? I'm not a game developer, this would probably be kind of hard to implement, but it would be hella more engaging and rewarding. Well, I think I gave survivors enough content and engagement, so let's go on to the kill side of things. Firstly, when a killer kicks a blood can from the ground, straight up should be rewarded with a 10% haste for 5 seconds. Nothing more to say there. Now getting onto the interesting stuff, with my second idea, killers would be given this blood meter at the start of every trial, and when filled up, they would get unique effects that last for a limited amount of time. Allow killers to interact with blood pumps, and they get the same puzzle survivors get as mentioned earlier, but instead of filling up a blood can, killers fill up their blood meter. The specific pump though can't be interacted again by the killer for the next 120 seconds. The meter can either be filled by interacting with blood pumps or hitting survivors. For the meter to be full, you have to either drink blood from the pumps or hit the survivors. Do both to obviously fill it up faster, but hitting survivors will reward less blood to give the priority to the blood pump interaction. Once the blood meter is full, the killer will be rewarded with the following effects for 40 seconds. 25% reduction to pallet stunts, 5% haste, 20% brighter vision, 10% increase in vaulting speed. But also, survivors will be leaving behind these blood orbs that if you track them, and it doesn't even matter if they're healthy or injured. Also, collecting those orbs increases the duration of all of the effects by 2 seconds. Obviously, the blood orbs will not spawn next to each other, so you wouldn't be in blood mode 24/7 as killer. Could all of these buffs be OP in combination with other killer perks that will help to stack up the effects? Maybe. But survivors also get unique effects by repairing the blood generators, so it will make for an OP fun mode. Of course, if these numbers and effects turned out to be OP, obviously one could be removed or reduced. But hey, of course it would need a testing before releasing into an actual mode, which is clearly something Behavior didn't do before releasing this mode. Anyway, that's my ideas on how I would improve upon the already existing mechanics of the blood gens and the blood pumps and the counts to offer an interesting, more fun, more interactive, and also more rewarding game mode than the one we got. If you all have any thoughts on my ideas, I would love to hear about it, and also don't forget to leave your own ideas in the comment section down below on how the Blood Moon event could have been. My socials such as Twitch, Discord, and TikTok will all be in the description down below if you feel like supporting me more, and of course don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. I will see everyone in the next one. Thanks for watching, and bye bye.